everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a get ready with me, testing out a bunch of new products that I recently have picked up. Sometimes it's easier to combine them into one video, and this might be a longer video, so I'm going to keep the intro kind of short and sweet, but I have quite a few new products and I'll probably do a few more of these just to kind of get caught up. I've been slacking on the reviews. So I really need, so it's nice to film a video like this where I can kind of combine them into one. I will also share some swatches and comparisons on the products that I discuss in today's video so you guys have that information. So for now, let's go ahead and jump into the applications of all these products, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Get ready with me testing out a bunch of new products. So the first product I'm going to talk about is this from Sisley. I bought it at Nordstrom's probably maybe the end of January, maybe beginning of February, and I've worn it a few times, so I kind of know how I feel about it. I bought the shade 4W Cinnamon. Haven't had a chance to dedicate a full video to it, so I thought I would include this in the video in case many of you guys were interested in this and you're maybe wanting to hear my thoughts on it. I have worn it a few times, so I do know how I feel about it, and there are some definite pros and cons to this. I paid $100 for it. She's quite expensive. You get 1 ounce, which is 30 mils, and it's a fluid skincare foundation with an oil-free formula that helps you achieve an ultra natural complexion and hydrated, energized skin. With an undetectable yet impeccable finish, this sheer coverage foundation immediately enhances the skin with a subtle satin finish. Skin feels hydrated and looks plumper, and its texture looks more smooth. Day after day, the skin will appear more bright, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this does not have a lot of coverage. So this is not a foundation that I would reach for if you're needing a medium coverage foundation. This is definitely sheer to light coverage. So you can see I have a breakout right here. On this side, I don't have much breakout. I have some hyperpigmentation and some texture and stuff, but it will not cover this kind of stuff. So I like to use a brush to apply this because I get the best coverage with a brush. By the way, I have the shade 4W Cinnamon. That's what it looks like. And it's a good color for me. I will say that. It is a good color. I like to use a dense packed brush because I can kind of pack it on and try to get as much coverage from this foundation as I can. If you want a sheer coverage where you're just kind of covering up redness and you're kind of evening out the skin tone, then you could totally use a sponge. But if you're wanting a little bit more coverage, you're gonna wanna use a brush. So how I like to do it is I like to dip my brush down into it, and then I start kind of packing it on the areas where I need the actual coverage. It dries and kind of sets down, so it's not one that's like super dewy or anything like that. You can smell the skincare ingredients. It smells just like skincare. And you can see that I'm getting a pretty light coverage because I'm kind of packing it on. So packing it on with a brush and kind of moving it and really making sure that it's nice and blended, that is how I am able to achieve a light coverage. If you want sheer, use a sponge because the sponge will kind of eat it up. This is more of a liquidy foundation, so that's the reason why I suggest using a brush, because this is very expensive. First of all, it's $100, and because it's such a light coverage anyway, and it's such a thin texture, it's quite liquidy. So because of all of those facts, this is not one that I would immediately go in with a sponge, just because your sponge will probably eat up a lot of it, and you're going to end up using quite a bit of it to get an even application. So it might get a little bit jiggly, and I apologize, but I wanted to take you guys off the tripod and zoom you guys in. So you can see right here, I built that up 3 times. And it still is not covering. I will have to put some concealer on this to really get this to cover, but it's not a cakey foundation either. So I like that. Now on this side, I don't have any open breakouts, and I really didn't need as much coverage on this side as I did on the other. And this looks really good. You can see here on the forehead, it looks really natural, and it looks really good, you know, right around here. It looks really good around my wrinkles and on my chin. but it's just, it doesn't provide enough coverage. That at the end of the day, I think is, for me, something that I need from a foundation that this doesn't offer. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of concealer right here in this area. This is the foundation, and then this concealer right here is from Good Apple, and this is in the shade Tan 161. So that's the concealer and that's the foundation. It might be a little bit lighter, but I think I'll be able to make that work. This is a full coverage concealer. I'm gonna use the same brush. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to do my brows. I don't have any new brow products. So I'm going to go off camera, do my brows, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and move on to the eyes before we move on to the face. I received this amazing PR package from Hindash, which included a few new pieces of his newest collection. This is what came in the PR package. So excited. We first have the Monochromance Palette. This is what the actual palette looks like. And then this is all of the beautiful tones that are in this. And it is definitely monochromatic, kind of set up the exact same way as his first palette, but just brighter, more summery type of colors. Then we have the Boy Tears. Now let me say this. I have swatched this and I like this formula a lot. So this is the color of it. It only comes in one shade right now. This one's in the shade Boy Tears. It's a Color Fluid Ultra Shimmer. And this is the applicator. It's a small applicator. But when I put this on the back of my hand and then I blended it out, it is absolutely smooth to the touch. So I'm super excited to try that. We have a few products for the lips, which we'll get into those in the lips. But he also sent over one eyeliner pencil in the shade Intra, which I think it's a brown color. So this is the eyeliner pencil. I also have his eyeliner. He sent this over a while back. This is a nice eyeliner too. I don't use this type of eyeliner that much, so I haven't really used it on camera, but it's got really nice pigment. And you can make really nice thin strokes with it, or you can kind of thicken it up, but it has a great pen tip on it. So for those of you that like, you know, liquid eyeliner, or you like to do like nice winged eyeliners with a liquid eyeliner, that one's a nice one. Today I'm going to use this pencil. It feels like it's a really soft formula. It also feels like you can smoke it out as well. So we're going to try it out. I'm excited. Let's start with the palette. So it is a pressed pigment palette. It's a multi-use palette that can be used on the eyes and the face. The second palette features Hindash's innovative gradient pressed pigments with a vegan, high-performance, ultra-blendable formula. In my experience with his first palette, his pigments are super buildable, so you don't get a lot of impact from the gate, like beginner friendly. So I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to go about right here. Yeah, it's not really showing up on my skin. I'm going to go down to this part right here. And as you can see, his pigments are very soft. So the thing that I do like about his pigments, they're very soft and they blend always. Like I've never ever picked up his palette and ever had a problem with blending a pigment, because it always blends out because it's so soft, but it's just super, super buildable. So if you want some depth, you're gonna kind of work to build that depth. Let's go into this shade right here and see, like right in the middle of these two right here. What I do like about that buildable formula is that you have a lot more control over something like this than you do if you're dipping your brush into something and you have a lot of pigment and then you're working so hard to get it to blend out. You just kind of build and add the layers, and as the layers add, I feel like the blend gets better and better. And if you'll notice, I haven't went in with a clean brush and buffed out any edges. So this is just packing it on, blending it out, packing it on, blending it out. So I'm going to take the Rephr number 2 and I'm going to go in right here. Now I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go in to this color right here. I'm going to pop it right here at the base of my brow bone, just to add a little bit of color to it. I'm also going to bring that down on the right here on this outer corner as well. I'm going to leave that there. I will add a little bit more dimension, but I might do it with the pencil. So let's go into the boy tears. And I'm going to have my Smith 253 brush handy, but let's use the applicator first. And I'm going to put this on right here on the inner corner and kind of bring it out. Okay, so I like how small this applicator is, and you can really get in there and apply it so evenly. I'm just going to take the brush now and kind of blend that out. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, that's a pretty liquid shimmer, you guys. I knew that was going to be a pretty formula. Let's see how it layers because it's dry. I'm going to go in one more time and see how it layers. Oh, I can't wait for him to launch more shades in this. This is a gorgeous formula. Wow. I'm going to take the brown eyeliner and I'm going to bring it right at the base of the lashes, like right here on this outer corner. I'm going to take a little smudge brush and I'm just going to kind of smudge out this eyeliner, building it and blending it, and then kind of building it and blending it. So I'm back. And I always struggle doing one eye because I'm not a makeup artist, right? So we all know that. I always struggle doing one eye on camera and then going off camera and doing another eye. Even if I follow the same steps, I might not pick up the same amount, or, you know, it's always a struggle. With this palette, it's even more of a struggle because of the monochromatics. And most of the time, you at home, you're going to be doing both of the eyes at the same time. But I would recommend doing one shade at a time on each of the eye. So if you're going to dip right into here, do it on both sides and then switch and go to like here and do it on both sides. Because of it, it's hard to get it to match. And I'm still struggling, but I'll kind of fix it and finesse it once I get the lower lash line and stuff done. But let's move on to the new concealer. Now, this is a new concealer from LYS Beauty. This is called the Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I am so excited because I love LYS. I think they have amazing products. So this retails for $18. It comes in 25 shades. And it's a luxuriously rich, ultra creamy concealer that helps visibly brighten, conceal, and nourish the complexion with a skin-like finish. Again, it's claiming to be full coverage. It's described as a flexible concealer that satisfies the cravings for coverage while adding a healthy, natural finish to the skin. It's designed to build and layer without settling into fine lines and pores. It is self-setting and designed with both the face and under eyes in mind. And I picked up the shade MG5. Now, MG5 is described as golden almond, which is for golden medium skin with golden undertones. So that's the color, MG5. It's a little light, but we'll see how it works. So I'm gonna put some of that like right here and right here. Typically, I would be using a color corrector because my dark circles are on fleek today. I'm not so sure that I would call this a full coverage. And I feel like looking in the mirror, I'm not loving the way it's made. I feel like it just made my under eyes look really bad. Like it exaggerated all of this like right here. Like you can see this like line right here. I don't love the way this looks. Let me pull you off the tripod and pull you in so you guys can see kind of what I'm seeing. See how it's settling into all of my fine lines and it's exaggerating all of these wrinkles? See how it's exaggerating all the wrinkles going down? Like my little vertical wrinkles. I mean, this has just kind of made my under eyes look worse. not much better. So far, I'm not fully in love with this concealer, but I will wear it and kind of give it a test, and we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and get back into the eyeshadow. I'm gonna start with that eyeliner pencil. I really like this color, by the way. I really like it. I'm gonna put that right at the base of the lashes. It's really not a brown. It's kind of like a maroon brown. It's a good color. I like this, and it smudges out like a dream. Now, typically in my experience, when you have a eyeliner that smudges really good, 9 times out of 10, it might smudge really good, but it won't stay in the waterline. So we'll see how this one lasts in the waterline. But as far as smudging it, it's a good smudger. Let's first go with this shade right here. And I'm gonna blend that into that eyeliner. So I'm back. I went ahead and threw on some lashes. I do want to mention that I did have a little bit of an issue getting the eyeliner to stay in the waterline. So I went ahead and used the actual eyeliner pen, which worked great. And I just kind of went up in there and, you know, filled in those gaps where the eyelashes and the strip lash kind of met. But this eyeliner, fabulous. And I love the color. Like I said, the color of this is, it has that like chocolate brown base, but once you blend it out, it blends into this really pretty like maroon, brown, mauve color, and I don't have anything like it in my collection. I have some that are maroon, but they're maroon. They have that like dark red base. This has that brown kind of smoky maroon base, and I live for it. Great color. Oh my gosh, I love this. By the way, the color is Intra. It is fabulous, and it blends so easily. This is going to be a pencil I use all the time. Let's go ahead and move on to the face. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. This product right here, if you guys have been following me for a while, a couple of years, you will know that I fell head over heels in love with this By Terry Brightening CC Blush. Well, little did I know until Mel told me. So I bought it, loved it, and it was getting low. So you can see I don't have much left in the bottle. You can't really tell, but I don't have a lot left in here. I've used this so much. Well, I went to replace it, couldn't find it anywhere. So I reached out to Mel, and I know that she's very familiar with By Terry. This was one of my first By Terry products that I ever bought. And I reached out to Mel, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Tara, but that was a limited edition. I was so upset, I completely stopped using it. I only used it on special occasions. Well, the other day I got an email from By Terry, the website, saying that they were launching these brightening blushes. And one of them is in the shade Rosy Flash. You guys, I could cry right now. I'm so excited. I was so bummed. And if Mel was still here, she would tell you I was screaming on Marco Polo. I was like, no, why is it limited? I was freaking out. I was booming and bawling about it. I was so upset about it. And this, I am so, so excited to try. So I got the 2 shades, Rosy Flash and Sunny Glow. And I'm going to open up Rosy Flash, and we're going to see if it's the same shade. So it comes in a clickable tube, somewhat similar to the By Terry. In fact, it looks like it might be the exact same packaging. It's just a little bit bigger. Please let this be the same shade. Please. It's not the same formula. So this one is, the one in the little tub is a little thicker. Let me look on the website and see what the website's saying. I just don't know, you guys. This is driving me crazy. So it looks like this is probably a new and improved type of formula. It's a limited edition Radiance Booster. So it's limited edition again. And a hydrating liquid blush to glow up all day long. Natural and dewy finish with a buildable coverage. And it has the integrated blending brush. Long-lasting color. The Rosy Flash is described as a rose gold blush for a glow that livens the cheek as a freshly pinched hue. And then Sunny Glow is a warm coppery shade for the most beautiful bronzed finish. Doesn't really say how it compares to this formula. So let's give it a try. I'm going to use the brush. I normally don't like to do this, but We're gonna try it. So that's like one layer. There's a thing that I'm noticing right off the bat. The older formula, so this formula is thicker, and I feel like it has a little bit more coverage than this one does. So this one I feel like might be better as a topper. So let's just say that you've put on your blush, right? Like you've put on maybe a powder blush and you wanted to have a little bit of that shine over top. This might be a better topper blush than wearing it on its own. But let's build it and see how buildable it is. So I'm going to push some down into the tip. I do like that blush tip applicator. Makes for an easy application. So that's 2 layers. I wanted to see what the other shade looks like. I was going to put the other shade on the other side. So that's Sunny Flash. Sunny Flash definitely is more bronzy versus pinky. So let's see what Sunny Flash looks like. Now, Sunny Flash doesn't really want to show up as far as color goes. Let's build it up twice. It's got a shine to it, but that one, I don't see any difference in color. I mean, it gave me a little bit of something, but it shows up in these lights. But if I went out into the natural daylight, you'd never see that on me. You wouldn't probably know that I had, you'd just see that it had a little shine. So I don't know that I love this color, the Sunny Flash. Is that what it's called? Sunny Flash? Sunny Glow. I don't know that I love the shade Sunny Glow. The Rosy Flash is okay, but it's not as good as the original formula, might I say. So because this doesn't have much color, I'm going to go ahead and go over top of it with my foundation brush and kind of blend it in. And I'm going to put the original formula on top on this side. That's the color once it's dried, and you can't really see it. I can't really see it. What I like to do is take a drop like that, and then I kind of blend it out on my finger, but you can see how much thicker it is. To me, this one has much more pigment, but we'll see. So I'm going to dip my brush into it. See, you can see that color right away. I love this blush. Oh my God, I love it. It's so pretty. See how much better the older formula was? I built this up 3 times. This is 3 applications. This is once. So I would not say that it's a new and improved formula. This is a very unique formula, and it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it lasts all day. Because once it dries and sets down, it doesn't budge. It lasts all day. And I'm kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed. I was really hoping that this one was going to be like this, but to me, you can see the difference. Like this one is, now that's, okay, here, let me say this. For those that don't like a lot of blush, you might really like this formula. For me, this is going to be more of a topper than an actual blush for me. It just doesn't got enough pigment. I'm gonna go ahead and contour and kind of clean everything up, and then I will come back and we will jump into the lip products. So I'm back. I did go ahead and put on a little bit of this on this side just to give it some color to kind of make it match. So I am disappointed because it's not what I was expecting it to be, because it had that Rosy Flash name. I got really excited knowing that it was a CC blush and thinking it might be this one, but it's not. And I will continue to treasure this and only use it twice a year. Let's move on to the lips. Let's try on the new products from Hindash. So we have the lip tone here, and this one is in the shade Hush. So let me show you what that shade is. Nice shade, really pretty, like that shade. And then I have 2 lipsticks. So we have the shade Call Me Peaches, which you guys know I love me a peach, and that is a gorgeous peach. Oh, she's a pretty peach. And the packaging is really sleek. Really sleek. I like this silver. This is really pretty. And then I have the shade Rest in Roses. So that's Rest in Roses, and that's Call Me Peaches. So pretty. Call Me Peaches is an ultra matte. So it's a traditional matte lipstick. Rest in Roses, this shade right here, that is called a matte balm. So this is a matte balm, and this is a traditional matte lipstick. So just FYI. Okay, so it's a series of lipsticks and tinted matte balms in color tones delicately constructed by Hindash. Manifesto features shade Call Me Peaches, which is a mid-tone peachy nude, and then Rest in Roses, which is a universal cherry. Okay, now about the lip liner that I have here. So the lip liner is described as a vegan slim wooden pencil with an extremely blendable, high-intensity creamy formula in shade Hush, which is a caramel nude. Let's put on Rest in Roses without the lip liner. Okay, so what I like about this is that it feels like a balm, but it has that matte texture. And I don't know that I've tried a matte balm. I have a lot of balms in my collection, but I don't know that I've had one that's a matte balm. So this is very, very interesting and really unique. And that color is gorgeous, right? That is such a beautiful color. So pretty. I'm going to put on the peach first without a lip liner, and then just so you guys can see the color, and then I'll put it on with a lip liner. Okay, so that's a traditional matte lipstick, and it has good pigment too. That's a pretty color. I love a peach, but I definitely, for me personally, I prefer it with a lip liner. So I'm going to wipe it off, and we're going to put the lip liner on. Okay, I really like the shade of this lip liner. I really like the shade of this lip liner. So pretty. Okay, now let's put on that peachy color. I think I might have found my perfect peach. That lip liner and that lipstick together. Wow. Now, you guys know I love a peach. Peachy lip all day, every day. I love the peach. I love the salmons. This combination, so perfect. If you love a peachy lip, wow. Like these two together, Hush and Call Me Peaches, they are gorgeous together. Like these two, wow, right? These are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love this so much that I don't even want to take it off, but I do have two new glosses that I wanted to talk about. So recently, Victoria Beckham Beauty launched Posh Gloss. Now, you guys know that I love Victoria Beckham Beauty. It's quickly becoming a favorite brand of mine. So, of course, I had to get some glosses. She launched 5 shades, but one of them is clear. I bought the shades Poolside and Top Down. That's the shade Poolside. Great pigment. This one is called Top Down. So that's Top Down. I love the shade Poolside. I think Poolside is just perfect. It's got such a gorgeous berry undertone. So I'm going to first put on Top Down. So that's the shade Top Down without a lip liner or anything. And it's a pretty color. Not my favorite, but it's an okay color. I think for the right makeup look and the right tutorial, or maybe having it over top of the right lipstick or something would be really pretty. I don't know that I like it alone per se, but it is pretty. So this is Poolside. So that's the shade Poolside, and I think Poolside is a little bit better of a shade for me personally. It's hard with darker glosses because if they don't have a lot of opacity, they get kind of thicker and darker in certain areas, so it's not like an even application. But with this color, it's kind of a medium tone, so it glides over evenly, and it kind of gives you that shine and that color, and it's a right color. It's a really pretty gloss, so I really like that one. But I wanted to share with you guys that I did buy those two glosses, and if I had to pick one of them, I would definitely pick Poolside. Now what I want to do, because I didn't do this before, even though I love that peachy shade, I'm going to put on the lip liner, and then I'm going to put on that Best of Roses. Or is that what it's called? Rest in Roses. So that lip liner kind of tones it down just a tad. So that lip liner kind of gives it a little bit more of a brown undertone. Gorgeous together. So the lip liner and the two lipsticks, love them. Okay, so that's it for the try on portion of the video. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches, and then we will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, you guys, I hope that those swatches and comparisons were helpful. Let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts. I'm going to first start with the foundation. Here's the thing about the foundation. I like this foundation, but it's not my absolute favorite. I will probably use it off and on. I don't know that this will be a part of my everyday rotation. You know how you have those top foundations that you like to reach for? I like it, but I'm not like fully in love with it. I have other foundations that are much cheaper than this one that I feel like look way better on my complexion. This one does last pretty good because, like I said, it does kind of set down. I would say it's more of a natural finish. It's not a matte, it's not dewy, it's not overly hydrating or anything, and it wears off quite naturally throughout the day. But for me, on just a personal level, I like the foundation, but I don't love it. Now, if the foundation was $40 and not $100, I still don't know that I would put it in my everyday foundation rotation. I feel like there's a few things that this is missing that I need, which is that medium coverage. Even if it was cheaper, I still don't know that I would be reaching for it on a regular basis. Like, I'm not like flipping out over it. Now, let's talk about the concealer really quick. I definitely need to wear this concealer more than one time. I'm going to keep my eye on it and, see how it wears throughout the day. I don't fully love the way that my under eye looks on this side. So I'm going to have to wear it and probably wear it with maybe a color correcting, with some sort of color correcting, kind of, cancel out some of the darkness and then wear it. But based on my experience, just applying it today, I definitely don't feel like it's full coverage. And I don't really like the way it looks over my wrinkles. But I don't really want to give my full thoughts on it just yet because I haven't had enough time to use it, to be honest with you. I think everybody knows how I feel about the blushes. If you were looking at these, just know that if you're a medium tan, darker complexion, the pink one would be really pretty as a topper, but I wouldn't depend on it as the only color. So I would maybe put like a powder down and then put this over top because it is really pretty. But it's very similar to the Pink Gasm from Charlotte Tilbury. I would say the Pinkgasm has a little bit more coverage than this one does. As you probably saw in the swatches, the color's similar, but I feel like the one from Charlotte Tilbury has more pigment than this one. So if you have the Pinkgasm from Charlotte Tilbury, I would completely pass on these because they're nothing that we probably don't already have in your collection. Let's talk about the products from Hindash. Now, I've only used the palette once, but so far I'm really liking it. Like I said, the only struggle is making sure that you're following the same steps on both because of the monochromatic layout of this palette. You do have to kind of be careful and kind of mindful of where you're putting that brush, and just to kind of make sure that you're putting the brush in the same place. But overall, I have always really liked his formula. It's very user-friendly, very beginner-friendly. In this particular palette, I think you're going to really need to love color in order to kind of justify this color story and this purchase of this palette. But I still love his first palette. I think it's a staple in my collection. I'm happy that he launched a palette with some color in his formula for those who really love color. Because it was definitely needed and necessary. He has a great formula. As far as the color fluid Boy Tears, this is probably one of the best formulas I've used. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's a 10 out of 10 all day long. 10, hard 10. This stuff is easy to use. Absolutely beautiful. And I love the shimmer that it gives the eye because it's not too much. A lot of the times with a cream kind of foiled pigment, it's a lot, and sometimes it can get chunky and flake off, especially if you accidentally apply too much. But with this formula, it's so lightweight and so beautiful, and I love the way that it looks on the eyelid. It's got that pearlescence look to it. It's stunning. He nailed it. In fact, I think this is probably my favorite product he's ever launched, period. It's phenomenal. Now, as far as the eyeliner, I think I mentioned the eyeliner. I think the eyeliner is great for smudging, but I just wouldn't recommend it in the waterlines. So if you're looking for something that you can smudge out really easy, this is a great, great formula. Same goes for the lip products. I love his lipstick formula, and I am flipping out over that lip liner and that peachy combination. Like, that was so beautiful. And like, you guys know I love peach, and those two together was like a dream come true. Oh, I was in heaven. So I love, love, love that. And the two glosses, I think I kind of went over that. I'm not a big fan of the darker color, but I really, really love that Poolside, and she did create a good gloss. So those are my overall thoughts. Sound off down below in the comment section. Have any of you guys bought any of the products that I used in today's video? If you have, share with us in the comment section your experience with them, and let's just have a conversation. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.